Golden Hope Apple, narrated by Gigi the Shrew. Once, a long time ago, beneath an enchanted tree of golden beauty, grew the most important fruit in Asgard. Protected by the most beautiful of goddesses, this tree was regarded for its wonderful magics. One day, beneath the tree, a golden apple, far beyond its time of ripening, and chosen for the harvest of the gods, unnoticed during the picking, forgotten it lay. A strong wind passed through the land, rolling the small apple far from its tree. So far it rolled that it slipped into a pond with a small clutch of frog eggs, where it rested for quite some time. Many moons passed, and as the baby froglets began to swim around the pond, from the small apple a small being emerged. Small and curious, she kept close to her frog brethren for safety. It wasn't long till they too moved on from the pond to find their own homes, and so did the miniature being. Her home was unimaginably large, and the dainty being was ever so small. And so she traveled many days and many nights to find somewhere in this realm where she felt she could start her life, her new home. She learned from animals and nature how to live, how to survive. She swam with the frogs, she drank nectar with the bees, and she lay low in the tall grass with the bugs. She learned how to belong, or so she thought. One night, the small being watched the ever-turning sky filled with stars. A friendly bird told her that to wish upon a star that moves across the sky is to have a wish likely granted. So she waited until a star shot across the sky and closed her eyes, making a wish. But what was to come was not what she had wished for. A large fox attacked her friends, and all it did was cause an intense sensation to grow stronger in her chest. A new experience, anger. As her vexation grew to a fever pitch, a curious event took place. Mushrooms, great and small of many colors, began to sprout around her as she grew to an alarming size. She shook the word footsteps, causing the fox to run for its life, leaving her bird friends on the ground with an injured wing. As she forcefully calmed herself, she began to shrink down, not as small as she once was, but close enough. Now she only felt panic. How could she help her friend? She didn't know the first thing about caring for animals. She barely took care of herself. She took the bird's side and helped it reach a safer place, out of the open to rest. This is when they really took in what damage her anger had caused. Mushrooms, wondrous varieties and hues. They were marvelous, nothing like she had seen before, and they grew in a perfect ring. As she lay her bird friend within a comfy nest of grass, she asked if they knew where they could learn more about such things, and the bird told her this. Take to the sky, see the grand tree of worlds. It holds much knowledge, but beware, for it is protected by descendants of giants. And so, with some preparation and a helping wink from a friendly crow, she took to the skies. The view from above was something she was not used to. She had never flown so high. You seek the world tree? I believe I know the place, but you should be aware that the only being to ever gain knowledge from it had hung from its branches for 9 long nights to discover anything. Are you sure you want to do this? Questioned the crow. The young fairy gave a nod and held on tighter. With that, they took off towards a beautiful tree of golden beauty. Once dropped off in the branches of the world tree, the small being gave thanks to her feathered companion as they parted ways. As she began to rest upon the branches, many moons would pass, and nothing happened. She hung like a bat, she danced and sang. Nothing. Nothing but the budding of golden apples. Again, this sensation of anger rose within her, and she began to scream and cry. Why wouldn't this tree help her as it had others? What was so different about her? With this hunger and outburst came once more the mushrooms of all kinds and sizes, and with them came damage to the grand tree, the bark splitting and warping, seeming to age prematurely as the mushrooms burst forth. She screeched, stomped, and pulled at loose bark, but before she could truly rip any off, a large hand plucked her from the tree, causing her to freeze up in fear. At this time, her eyes locked with those of a very concerned being. Beautiful and soft-spoken, the large stranger questioned the vexed and upset childling. Now, what is it you're so frustrated about, little one? The caring question, the soft voice, the lack of anger, that is all it took for the summoner of mushrooms to break down and sob, telling the gentle giant of her woes, troubles, and wants. The kind goddess introduced herself as Anna and listened to it all, as she brushed the small hair from the little one's face and welcomed her to the world, telling the new fair she had no need to fear or worry, that her wants were simple and she knew just the being who could help her. The kind goddess granted the small being a true name of Kojjie, but for now she chooses to be known by Kojjie, in a place among gods as her home. Goddess introduced Kojjie to a beautiful woman, a Valkyrie named known to be a great physician, took Kojjie under her wing and taught her all about mushrooms, as well as the eating properties of medicinals. Kojjie took this job ever so seriously for the most part. She learned everything she could from many suns and moons. Many years had come and gone. God granted her a glade to care for and watch over at the edge of a special forest in the realm of humans. There she was to protect this glade and the hidden getaway to the world of the gods concealed within the pond. One could jump down in the cool waters to fall into the world beyond, and this is where Kojjie finally rested, a home of her own, a new world of possibilities. A cat in the moors puts his tail around them. The fairy tale is over.